Liberal Party of Quebec caucus. He has told them he is resigning. A lot of pressure on him, as you said, over the last few weeks. A series of corruption scandals culminating in these allegations, which are now being investigated by the agency in Quebec that deals with political corruption. Now being investigated, allegations that people who voted for Rodriguez in the party leadership were reimbursed, paid some as much as $500 cash towards their costs of attending the leadership convention. That's a serious allegation, of course, completely illegal under Quebec's election rules. Now, Rodriguez says although he was at the convention, obviously, neither he nor his senior staff knew about this. He is disavowing any connection to it, but the fact that it is now being formally investigated really make it impossible for him to continue on as leader of the provincial Liberal Party. Rodriguez has an interesting history, mostly at the federal level. Of course, he's well known here in Ottawa as being a Liberal MP, first elected in 2004. He was defeated in 2011, was out of politics for a while, then came back with Justin Trudeau and ultimately became the government House leader for the Liberals at one point. He was Canadian Heritage Minister, pretty senior portfolio, often goes to a Quebec MP, and it also served lastly as Minister of Transport before he announced in September of last year that he was resigning to seek the Liberal leadership. He never actually achieved a seat in the National Assembly in Quebec. So he's never elected. He always decided he was going to work and build the party from the outside, but now he is out of the mix. So why does this matter to us here nationally? Well, let's look at what's going on in Quebec politics right now. François Legault, the current premier, and his party are not popular with voters. Public opinion polling showing the separatist Parti Québécois has had a big lead, and they've had it for about 2 years. A little bit reminiscent maybe of the Conservative Party at the federal level, having that long lead and then losing it at the end. But by law, there has to be another election in Quebec by October. There could be one sooner than that if Legault decides to call one, or he steps down, or if his government is defeated on a confidence matter in the National Assembly. But it's looking very much like this is going to be a Parti Québécois win. And the Parti Québécois has promised that within their first mandate, that is within the first 4 years of a government, and all polls show them they are completely on course to forming a majority government in the National Assembly, they would proceed to bring another referendum. Remember, we had referendums in 1980 when René Lévesque was Quebec premier. We also had one in 1995 when Jacques Parizeau was premier. It came very, very close to causing for Quebec to voting yes to separation from the rest of Canada. That would have obviously been a catastrophic development. It was just very narrowly headed off by a sustained effort from the federal government and other people on the no side that prevented that. But we could be now in this scenario sometime in the next 4 years. The fact that Pablo Rodriguez, who is now quit as leader, is going to cause a leadership race within the Liberal Party, and it's also going to very likely improve the chances that the PQ is going to win in October or sooner. So this is looking like, Mark Carney, the Prime Minister, dealing with a burgeoning unity crisis in Alberta over concerns that the province's interests were not being properly reflected in the federal government. He seems to have quelled that now, but could be facing another unity crisis, a national unity crisis, again from Quebec, that could, FISA, potentially lead to another referendum. But Pablo Rodriguez won't be around to lead any of the political parties involved in that.